Hello, and welcome to the OCAD Youth Sports Report. I am your host, Avishai Saul. And this is the final episode in the sad moment for the world of sports media. They are losing a titan. But never fear, for we have between 10 and 15 minutes left together, and I intend to make them near the top of the whatever pyramid of grandeur this show has achieved. It's going to be in the upper echelon, this episode. I can't guarantee it'll be the best because the opinion is arbitrary, but I'm aiming for top end for this last episode. That's the idea. And I'm hoping we'll get there. It'd be pretty annoying if it ends on a clanker, right? Anyway, we have a lot to talk about within the world of sports. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with hockey playoffs. We're getting deeper and deeper into the postseason. Teams are being eliminated, and the sad fact is one of those teams was our own Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs fans have been tortured for a long time, simultaneously blessed and cursed by being the mecca of hockey within the modern world and having their professional team underwhelm year after year after year. And while this year they flipped the script a little bit by making the second round, they ultimately fell to the Panthers, and it's hard to celebrate after a loss in the second round. We have ambitions higher than that. Leafs fans all over have been wondering, what do we do now? Because on the one hand, there was a feeling that if the Leafs failed again, they'd hit the reset button. But I don't think that would be a good idea. And I'll tell you why. One, hockey is a random sport in the postseason. Shots matter so much. Goals matter so much. Inferior teams can beat superior teams. Superior teams can lose to inferior teams. And just because we lost in these playoffs does not mean we don't have Stanley Cup potential. We have star power, we have backups, and it just wasn't our year. Second reason is this. A lot of the core players of this Leafs roster were acquired during the year. Remember, the Leafs were very active in acquiring new players through trades and signings. A lot of those important glue guys hadn't had as much of an opportunity to gel with the rest of the team. 1 year and one offseason can make a big difference as far as team chemistry goes. So when you're looking towards those playoff matchups, which are decided by fractions of inches and the most infinitesimal of sports psychological decimals and other long words, those things matter. Give it another year and see what more this unit can accomplish once they've had more of an opportunity to gel. And third, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, the Leafs' two offensive stars, are not even in their NHL primes yet. Austin Matthews is 25 and Marner is 26. Their best years are likely ahead of them. The best is yet to come. And I know that because they've been in the league for so long and they came in at such a young age and they've been talented and had these high expectations for so long, you almost expect that by now, after all these years, they would have accomplished more. But it's important to keep in mind, just because they've had more at-bats doesn't necessarily mean that they're further along in their development than any other 25 or 26-year-old. They have more experience, sure, but their prime is still to come. So here's what I'll say. Give it another year. See what this team can do. Give it one more go-around. If we still can't break through, then maybe it's time to take a good hard look at the roster, shake some things up. Moving on now to the NBA playoffs, where, running simultaneously to the NHL, we are getting deeper and deeper into the playoffs. Teams are getting eliminated. One of those teams was the Golden State Warriors. In a superstar-studded battle matchup with the Los Angeles Lakers, the Warriors finally were dethroned. The reigning champs fell, and LeBron, Anthony Davis, and our good old friend Austin Reeves, they all move on to face Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in ye old Western Conference Finals. Simultaneously in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics knocked off the Philadelphia 76ers, who are crying a lot which is good to see. I don't like the city of Philadelphia. I don't like their fans, and I don't like their team. I don't like James Harden. I don't like Embiid. Also, Philly fans are annoying and loud and mean. But at the same time, from a basketball's perspective, it's worth mentioning how this whole Philly process, going back to 2014, it's been kind of a failure. Like a complete failure. Like, yeah, Embiid won the MVP this year, but like second round loss again. Let's take it back. Remember, they draft Embiid, he gets injured, they're like, take your time. He comes back. By this point, they have Ben Simmons when he was good. Remember, there was a second there where Ben Simmons was good. Simmons gets hurt. He takes a year, comes back. Now Simmons and Embiid are together. They're getting better, sure. Trade up in the draft because they don't want Jason Tatum. They want Markelle Fultz. They take Fultz. He's no good. Simmons starts to go like this. They trade for Jimmy Butler. Remember, that Philly team with Butler, they nearly knock off the 2019 Raptors. That Kawhi shot was against that team. They needed every second of that series, Game 7 buzzer beater, to beat that Philly team. But they get rid of Butler. Why? Because he calls out the weak-ass motherfuckers that Simmons and Embiid are, because Jimmy Butler's a hard-ass and a competitive psycho in the best way. And rather than empower that guy and lead your team through him, they're like, oh no, he's mean, let's get him out. We're going to keep with Simmons, who's afraid to work on his free throws. We're going to keep with Embiid, who literally bursts into tears, which on the one hand you commend because he really seems to care, but if you care that much, then why are you not in shape? We had some more NBA news, which was the NBA draft lottery. And this was a particularly important draft lottery because it decided who would get Victor Wembanyama. Since I last talked about the French phenom, 7'4", three-point shooting, dunking, insane fluid athlete, he's actually improved as a passer since we last talked about him. The hype has only gone up. He's one of the greatest draft prospects in any team sport ever. And he's going to San Antonio. The San Antonio Spurs won the NBA draft lottery, and good for them, because you have to imagine that an organization with the history of excellence that they have, Victor is going to do well there. You're confident in that. Head coach Greg Popovich, who is probably a witch, and they have the French connections through Tony Parker, Boris Diaw. It's good for Wembanyama. I'm sad as a Raptors fan because we had a slim chance of getting him, but it was slim, and I'd rather him go to San Antonio where you know he'll be done right by the organization than somewhere like Charlotte. Not that they were mean, it's just they don't make their players better. What going to San Antonio means is that we will probably see Victor Wembanyama's potential fully unleashed, which is terrifying, and as a basketball fan, very exciting. So now for our two final segments. This is the final episode. I am graduating. I can't be on the OCAD sports report if I'm not a student. That would be weird for everyone. But before we go, I want to take a second to show you some of the best we had to offer. We had a lot of laughs these past 3 years. We've been through some good times, some bad times, hard times, COVID, championships, scandals, opinions, right and wrong, and a lot of like singing weirdly. Anyway, here's some of that. Welcome back to the OCAD Sports Report. A local Florida man was quoted as saying, "It symbolizes my inner spirit." Seattle crack in. It's crack in. It goes up and then it comes back down. Damn it. Whatever this is, that hurts.
Yeah. Of Austin Matthews' shots.
Let's all talk about sports. We'll have a good cry about it later. Famous, powerful people showing off his wang, not a bandwagon, and then skated backwards a little bit. What my grandpappy always said, ouch, my wife left me. The only thing people like more than sports is dragons. And I told myself I wouldn't cry this episode. A certain vintage.
Yeah. He's a phenomenon because
I'm not actually wearing pants.
It's a little bit funny.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. Get with it, man. A hurricane hit. No! This week's Athlete of the Week is all of my friends. Why are you Athlete of the Week, Steve?
Because I run, I walk, I swim, very sporty. Wait, what else do I say?
No, that's fine. All right, get out of here, Steve. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I love attention, and highlight reels are sort of a staple of all sports fans. For this final Athlete of the Week, we have two Athletes of the Week, and they are Sam and Nadir. Who are these fine gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you. Just because this is my final episode of the OCAD Youth Sports Report does not mean it is the final episode of the OCAD Youth Sports Report. I will be going on, graduating, seeking my fortune across the sea, but these two here, they will be taking over in the next year. They are great guys. They run the OCAD U Athletics Club. They started it, founded it. They'll give you tons of laughs. They'll give you tons of good sports reporting, and they're going to do a great job. They're going to be in excellent hands, and I'm very happy that they're taking over. So they are Athletes of the Week this week. It's bittersweet saying goodbye like this, because this show and has been a big part of my university experience. It's meant a lot to me. It's been great. It's been really fun, and I'm very proud. If I'm being honest, it's been a great time. Being a sports reporter is a great way to be a sports fan and to experience sports, and it's been great. It's really been great, and thank you for watching this whole time. And you know, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. This is my house. This is the show that I made. All this here, this ball, and these shoes, which I actually wear, they're not just a prop, and this cup, and this other ball. This is all my creation, my baby, my house, and I'm not abandoning it. This is it, and I'm never leaving. Say goodbye to the next year. Say goodbye to the